It's a lot of LED lights. There's a bar and 2 stripper poles. Bro, the music was atrocious. We got to talk about qualifying.
Yes.
Christian and I, we said, you know what? The boys need us. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Like a good pair of uncles that we are. We said, yo, the boys need us. We got to be there.
Right.
And now normally when Christian and I travel.
His dad won't show up, so
he ain't never said it. He's like, the boys need me. Oh, look at that. Cheese. And then that was it. But we decided we're going to go. Now, normally when we travel.
Go to Mexico for people who don't.
Yeah, we went to Mexico.
Yes.
But normally when we travel to games, you know what Christian and I do? Because we're so important, we apply for media credentials. And then we get to go to we get our own entrance in the stadium. We get to bring our bags in. We get to bring belts. We have our own.
The fancy stuff.
Yeah. We have an air conditioned section. They feed us. It's quite nice, right? You're not allowed to cheer. You're not allowed to wear anything from one of the teams. But still, you go as press. And then everyone sits there and does their job. They type and they do all updates on Twitter and stuff. And Christian and I just sit there and watch the game. But this time, for some really dumb reason, we decided it's our first time at the Azteca. We should go as fans.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. That's the last time we will do that. We hung out with a bunch of executives from a very large streaming platform. I don't know if
I don't think it matters.
I don't want to say.
Oh, he doesn't want to. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we were hanging out with a lot of employees from...
Important people.
For important people.
And I don't say that to flex. I say that to Christian. I had no right to be there.
I don't know how we got inside this circle, but it happened. So we were...
what an odd situation. We're literally on a party bus with like stripper poles in it.
Yes.
And a bartender in a bar in the bus.
So let's explain why was there a party bus. So we got invited to the Azteca to go to the game. We wanted to go to the game.
No, we didn't get invited. I was texting with this group of all Arsenal fans, some of which work in very important television networks and stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to the game. A bunch of them like, yo, we're going. And then we're like, perfect. So like, we kind of made ourselves a part of that group. Yes. One of which was with Barra 76. So he was like, well, I'm going with
which is LAFC. Oh
no! That's another AO. It's an AO comparable.
Yeah, it's like the Hispanic.
It's the
AO
Hispanic
group.
AO.
Yeah, Hispanic.
How Hispanic? Their AO, their party was a BYO. Just to give you an idea of how Latino it is. It's a potluck, bro, and we're drinking all your beer, whatever you bring.
Right.
So. We couldn't get tickets with AO. We're not members. We couldn't get tickets with Barra 76. We're not members. So this guy is also not a member of any of those things. He's like, well, my major conglomerate has an office in Mexico, so I'll make this a work trip, and a bunch of them want to go to the game as well, so you could come with us. We're going to rent the bus. That's all we heard.
That's all we knew.
I was expecting like one of the buses you see like players arriving with a nice
coach bus.
Like a nice Greyhound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. And when we get in there, it's a lot of LED lights. There's a bar and 2 stripper poles. Bro, the music was atrocious. You may have seen me put up a video of just my face staring at the screen.
Paulo Nelson said, can't believe Fox News got a party bus.
So OANN rents this, but no, we were never.
The Newsmax party bus was lit, bro.
I would literally yank on the steering wheel if that were the case. Middle of traffic. Take everyone out just out of love. Shouts to Morgan Tenzin in the chat as well.
What's up? Anyway.
Hey, when'd you get here? Helicopter, black one? Cool. Unmarked?
Why are you wearing that tinfoil on your head, bro?
Damn, bro.
What supporters group is this?
Yeah. Querétaro and Atlas jersey. That's weird. DJ 31.
I said no notification. Why you hit the bell? You gotta hit the bell.
Yeah, you gotta hit the bell, my G,
to get the notification. Yeah.
So we walk onto this bus. There's pieces of it falling off. It was a wild one, but the guy who's in charge of it looks like a very responsible stepdad. You know?
Okay.
Just like he looks like a Jim Gaffigan character, right?
He was like a clean cut, kind of dude,
like a Jim Gaffigan character.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, you would book Jim Gaffigan to play this man. Nice guy, more hair than Jim Gaffigan. Mm-hmm. Nice guy, and he was like
Mexican guy, obviously in Mexico. Oh, wait. Oh, no, the guy that... Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy who was running the bus.
No.
Okay.
No, that dude wasn't clean cut. He had he looked like a soccer player. He had like a slick back, blonde, streaky hair.
It wasn't that bad.
Bro,
Okay.
he looked like whatever drink you ordered. Like, yo, let me get a vodka tonic. He's like, I'm going to put a little herpes in there. Is that okay? Is that cool? You mind if I just put a little dab? I'm going to rub it on my lip. Is that cool?
On the rim.
You want salt? No? Okay, then you get a little herb. No, that dude looks sketchy as shit. What are you talking about? The dude who we were with, he was like a nice.
Very
I don't want to say nerd because he's not a nerd, but like he looks like he's like reads books a lot and like has like a very right.
Not Alexis.
Nicole Hack put LOL at Venga Boys playing. It was the worst.
Yeah.
So they're playing music they think Americans want to hear.
Right.
And then he was like, he looks at us and we're like, what kind of party is this, bro? Because like there's office workers here, like, women, men, children, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. And there's a grandpa on the bus. And then all of a sudden they're like sitting around a stripper pole with a TV screen behind them. And he was like, I tried to get a bus that fit like 30 people, and this was the only one they had. And we were like, that actually makes sense, because he would be like, give me any bus you got. And they're like, well, let's get the one that smells. It smells like the fish market. You know what I mean?
Smells like twerking.
Smells like money on the floor. That's what it smells like. So we were told the game starts at 8. We're in like near the Polanco area.
Yeah, there's a town, there's a neighborhood called Polanco.
Which is like the Ritzy. That's like their Upper East Side. They're Beverly Hills.
That's how it works. Whenever, every time I told Mexican people my name, they were like, well, Adida. Okay, I didn't know we had royalty.
Senor. Should I not make eye contact?
No me mires.
Don't touch him. He's like the queen. Whatchamacallit? So we were told leave super early. So the game starts at 8. We thought 5:30. That's got to be early enough.
Right?
Nope.
2.5 hours. It took 2.5 hours just to arrive at the Azteca.
That's to get to we get to the stadium right on time. But one of the employees, his uncle was an announcer at La Azteca for like 50 years.
And just to clarify, we are 10 miles away from Azteca. So it took 2.5 hours to drive 10 miles.
Yeah. We're not... New York City, New York, LA traffic, nothing
to a game at the Azteca when Mexico's playing.
Bro, it's as if the city doesn't realize people want to go to the stadium.
Absolute madness. It was kind of, everybody told us. Even shout out to Wiso Vasquez from FootMex Nation. We saw him at the American Outlaws night before party.
He's like, leave now.
You're here right now that you're here.
Yeah.
18 hours before the game, you're doing it wrong.
Start heading in that direction, my G. I feel like you already late, bro.
He was like, yo, you got to leave early, and we were like 2.5 hours. That has to be totally
No, that got to be enough. In fact, we were supposed to leave at 6, and when they said 5:30, I'm like, well, cool, we'll get there like 30, 45 minutes. Nope. And by the way, Shasta Morgan Tenzu says Alexis making fun of people who read books. Yo, you know how I do. We don't want them around. You know what I mean? Sounds like Miami. Imagine Miami, but like if it was only Cuban people. So the music, the people, everything is loud, and traffic is insane because no one knows how to drive. It was wild. But we get there right at 8 o'clock, and we hop out, and Supreme would beg for a line this long.
There were I'm not even exaggerating.
Every security gate like snaked.
Yeah, there might have been 15 to 20,000 people outside 5 minutes before kickoff.
Think of your biggest NFL stadium and imagine the parking lot surrounding it was empty. Now imagine the security lines for every gate got to where the entrance to those parking lots were. I'm not making that up. A sea of people waited. It was so bad that where the guy dropped us off was the end of the line for one of the security. And we're like, dude, is this where we wait? Like, we're far. We're so far. The stadium looks small. It was bananas. And of course, I start buying street food, right? I'm like, I remember how I said it was 2 a.m. and I'm stuffed, but I really want an elote in a cup, which is also called an esquite in certain parts of Mexico. And people were like, oh, get it here. And I'm like, I don't live in those cities. New York doesn't have this. It's 2 a.m. But as soon as we get off, I say to one of the people with us, who also happened to be the voice of Alexa in Latin America.
Yeah.
I said to her and her boyfriend / husband, I'm not sure what he was. I was like, yo, you know what? I haven't had a pambazo, which is a sandwich that's like dipped in like sauce and then cooked again.
Healthy.
I was like,
sounds healthy.
I mean, it's a vegetable sauce. And I was like, I haven't had an esquite. And he was like, just go right there. And there's a I was like, bro, we going. So we go, we get esquites, we come back, and they're like, let's go. And we're like, cool. It's like 8:05. Rumor is they're going to delay the game because security issues. A lot of people can't
somebody
get to the
just
stadium.
asked, Walker 8 just said, was there any extra security or notices due to the recent football riots? And yes,
tons.
This is exactly why the line was so long, because the Mexican Federation did something.
No. FIFA. CONCACAF was running. CONCACAF or FIFA were handling admittance into the stadium, and that So we talked about this with someone. The Mexican police departments, the Mexican government, and most people in Mexico have just gone on with their lives as if that riot never happened. It's a little weird. I was like actually like afraid to talk to people about it because I'm like, man, no one's bringing it up. Mm-hmm. We're saying we're going to a soccer game, and most people are like, okay, cool. Well, have fun. I heard those are good. Like, does nobody want to talk about the murders? And the answer is no. But we went to lunch previously with someone who works like at a pretty high up municipal area, I guess, department thing, position in the Mexican government. I was like, hey, can I ask why no one's talking to me? He's like, oh yeah, that's like a very Mexican thing. We just pretend it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, then we won't. Then we won't say anything.
But I mean, even with that being the case, there was not one moment where I felt unsafe or I was worried about anything. Everybody was cool. At the game, Mexican fans they knew we were not Mexican and knew we were supporting the U.S. and they were all cool. So I heard tons of stories like that. So the reason the line was so long in particular was because when we got the tickets, not only did we have to buy the ticket, but then we had to register our ticket online and we had to put in our ID and our photo and the whole thing. So they wanted basically to know who had
everyone
ticket.
Who walked in, not just your ticket, but you also had to like register with the government. Yeah. Essentially.
Oh, the federation at the very least.
Yeah, the federation.
The website was the Mexican Federation.
It was like laseleccion.co.mx. It was like, it was like very official.
So once you registered your ticket with your ID, then you got a QR code, which is what you use to get inside the stadium.
So there was both. They checked your boleta, your ticket, and then they scanned your QR code.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, your ticket allows you in, but without the QR code, we ain't allowing you in because we don't know who you are. And obviously there was COVID protocols within that registration.
Yeah.
So that must have been the major issue. So one of the guys in our group was like, yo, my grandfather was the announcer at the Azteca for 50 years.
Yeah.
I've been coming here since I was a kid. I know everyone here. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. So we're like, we show up at 8. The rumor is the game's going to start a little bit later. So we're like, you know what? We got time. People are going to the bathroom. I'm getting an esquite. I'm sitting there drinking. You had one as well?
An esquite. Yeah, it wasn't.
I got mine a little spicy. You didn't, and you thought yours was spicy.
I didn't think it was spicy. My issue with it is the it is spice. It is sour with the lime.
There's a lime that's squeezed over.
There's
if you don't know what an esquite is,
it's so much mayonnaise and
corn, mayo, and hard white cheese covered in like a tahine.
Yeah.
And then a lime is squeezed over it. It is one of the most beautiful things you can eat as a human being.
It's a lot.
And also, I say, it is one of the most important street food dishes of a Latin culture. And this man, this Tío Tomás, does not like it.
It was fine. It's just a little much. The mayo was probably, if I could have it without the mayo, I'd probably enjoy it.
What's the point? All right, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
It's fine.
You have no idea how much this upsets me. So we're like,
Leslie just said, Cooligans party with Alexa and Sap.
Yeah. Actually, every time you hit the remote, she changed to Spanish, which was really cool. So we get to the entrance where like the important people are walking through, but they all have these like little cards. Mm-hmm. We ain't got no cards, and they're not letting us through. Yeah. And he's on the phone, and he's like, "Well, sorry, everyone. This isn't being run by the Azteca people. This is being run by, whatever, FIFA or La Federación de Mexico. So my assistance isn't helping us get in, but I've got people that are going to come and get us." I looked down at my phone. We're 20 minutes into the game. And I was like, what happened to the game starting late? And they're like, well, I don't know. Yeah. And I'm like, what is going on?
Everybody noticed that too, right? On the broadcast, you saw that the stadium was pretty much like half empty. They didn't sell it out completely anyway, but it was still eerily empty.
I've been saying the number 110. Apparently, they lowered the capacity to 80,000.
Yeah.
They fixed the stadium up and lowered the capacity to 80,000. By the way, I don't see how they fixed the stadium up. But it's a little old stadium.
It was built for the World Cup, right? In '86.
No,
I think
that had to be the 1930s World Fair.
How long has Azteca been around? I thought it was. I could be wrong.
It's a beautiful stadium. I'm not saying anything, but like there was pieces like missing. So you're like, I don't think this got fixed up. I think they just limited capacity and maybe fixed some other areas, like added because I think the Coca-Cola lounge is new. They added like some fancy spots downstairs. Anyway, long story short. By the way, much respect to La Azteca. Beautiful stadium, but. Whatchamacallit? We're waiting and waiting and waiting, and we have to make a decision. Do we go to regular security or do we stay here and hope this goes through? Bro, halftime. I'm furious. I'm not saying anything because I'm mad. And Christian's like kind of like also upset, but not nearly as upset as me.
1961.
Yeah, you could tell it's older.
Okay.
So the rest of the group is also kind of upset, and we're all like, you know what? It's halftime. Let's just try to go through regular security. We get right in. Apparently, they had started letting people in. You could kind of see from where we were standing, they were starting to let people in. So we finally get let in. The way I remember it is that we don't get to our seats because also no one knew how to get anywhere. You had to climb these crazy ramps. By the time we got to our seat, it was like the 55th minute. That's what I remember. Christian remembers 48.
Wait, I remember the kickoff. I don't remember about to walk. We just walked in right after they kicked off in the second half. We didn't really get to our seats. Probably about to the 55th minute because people were in our seats.
Well, that's the other thing. Then people were sitting in our seats. And they ain't getting up. And they're like, no, these are my seats. And I showed them my ticket, and they showed me theirs, which are not in that section. And he's like, well, I don't care. I'm not moving. And I was like, well, I mean, I can't lift you up. You know? I mean, we're stuck in an impasse here. If I show you that you're sitting in my seat and you just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I said to the guy, I'm like, at least let the lady sit. Like, don't be that guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm
going to And when he said the lady, he referred to me.
I'm pointing. And he's just hoisting him up as far as they could go. He's doing the wings, the whole nine. And there was eventually some of the people got up. There were like 2 or 3 guys. One guy had like boils on his face. And he wouldn't get up. And I'm like, I don't want that seat anymore either.
I don't remember
You don't remember him? He had like that row of bubbles on his face. He looks like he keloids. He looks like he got
I didn't know
cut
this.
and he keloids. Okay. But yeah, no, something was on his face and he was like, I'm not getting up. I'm like, no, bro, that's your seat. You know, it's like your friend who you don't trust takes a sip of your drink and he's like, oh, I don't want this. Do you want it? You're like, no, that's yours now. Good. Congrats, buddy. He wouldn't get up. Him and his 2 friends wouldn't get up.
Yeah.
But a bunch of other people were like, all Mexican fans clearly knew we were from America. Like, guys, don't worry about it. Sit. There were these 2 guys who were like, I'm not getting up. They were kind of drunk. He's like, a mí no me importa, man. No me voy a levantar. Esta mi silla, a mí no me importa. And like about 5 minutes in, he goes, you want the seat? And I go, yeah. He goes, oh, dude, do you care if I stand in front of you?
He's like,
and we're like, I don't care.
I don't know who that guy was.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, that's not me. You know what? That's the Tecate talking. And honestly, I'm not proud of myself. I'm not proud of who I was back there. He gets up, but they stand in front of us, and they're super drunk. They're taking, like, pictures. These 2 Mexican dudes. Photos, yeah. They're taking pictures. And I go, oh, have you guys ever? They go, where are you from? And the guy said, where in the States are you from? I said, New York. He's like, oh, I love New York. I'm like, you been? He goes, yeah, I live in Tampa. I'm like, what the hell, man? So him and his friends are like taking pictures. They're posting it on Facebook. So they're clearly like super Mexican, bro. Because ain't nobody in America. Maybe Tampa is just like the last holdout for Facebook content. But they're taking Facebook specific photos. They're laughing. We're talking about the game. We're like having a good time back and forth. I took pictures of them. They took pictures of us. It was a good time. Like they posed with us, like, you know, peace signs and all the whole nine. Like it was a good time. And it ended up being, well, at the end, on a scale of 1 to 10, there was a lot of frustration up top. We had a blast going back. We convinced them to play reggaeton, or somebody did.
Yeah.
They stopped playing the stupid, right? We played the reggaeton. People were dancing. We had a great time on the way back. But we were eating Doritos. It was a good time. By the way, they taste different there.
The Doritos do taste different there.
It's not nacho cheese. It's just nacho. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Spicy. Bro, I love it. Doesn't taste like cheese, which it's kind of cool. It's like a little different.
You don't have that Dorito stomach ache that you normally get. After
If you just didn't eat enough of them, buddy, I got it. It was, let me tell you, worth it every time. Your fingers are stained up. It's quite great. But we ended up going out and get tacos, and then we went and did the Grand Wall interview. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say the beginning I was a 9 of how frustrated I was until I got in the stadium. I was about ready to boil over. I was going to start smacking people, you know what I mean? But on a scale of 1 to 10, towards the end of the day, how'd you feel?
Towards the end, I was my frustration was at like maybe a 7 because even though I did want to go, we flew all the way to Mexico to go see the match. And we
just about got to see some of it.
Yeah, we saw the second half. So I was frustrated, but then also as a comic, we've already been in either terrible gigs, terrible situations where we know that at least we got the story. At least we got something out of it. We got to be stuck in traffic in a party bus with the guy who was like, "I'm connected. Don't worry about it." And then,
bro, I got it. And then we get there, he's like, "I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
Yo, nobody here knows me.
I don't even know me, bro."
So that part of it, I could at least, even as it's happening, I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna laugh about this later. But we got to be there for the second half. We got to see Gio Reyna make that run. Cutting up every Mexican player,
looking like Nancy Kerrigan, bruh. Just graceful out there on them skates.
Okay,
and a bunch of Tanya Hardings around him.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Gio's he's Nancy, and then he sees Tanya everywhere. He's like, "Oh, you ain't got me. No. You ain't getting these knees.
Nah,
I'm good."
Fam.